Yeah, those noodles are awful. Yeah. Howdy, YouTubers. I'm posting this video. This is one of them fishless fishing videos, but if you are curious about what's going on in Cambridge above the Galt Dam, then this one answers some of the questions. I managed to get my fish finder in my canoe, and we took the trolling motor, and we were just scooting all over the place, trying and failing to catch any fish in this section of the video. Later ones we do catch some fish, but, you know, they're fun little fish. Not really, you know, the fish we're looking for. Anyway, let's see if I can remember what I threw in here. If you want to know more about what we're doing here, you can go to the accompanying WordPress document where I wrote a whole bunch of stuff down. It's very, very fun to read. If I can remember, I broke from my normal. I've been going smaller and smaller and smaller and more finesse fishing the Grand because I always seem to fish it in the summer, and I just don't think the fish are going to chase anything down. Here, I went for the more typical bass lures. I used a whopper plopper. I used a 3/8 ounce V-line spinner with an orange Mr. Twister tail. Willow blades, if you're curious. I used a fat shallow diving crankbait and a small inline spinner in this video alone, and really came up with nothing. I'm going to go out to this section again because we saw fish jumping, fair-sized ones. We couldn't quite identify them, but if they were what we were looking for, then we were just throwing the wrong things for them. And I've been coming up with some pretty silly float rigs that resemble throwing flies for salmon or trout on standard tackle. And that's why I want to go back out here and see if I can manage to catch anything. But yeah, this video is mostly just to show you what is up with the that area, and maybe you have some bright ideas that you could feed to me, because I mean I already have 5 more poles that I want to throw here for my next trip. Please don't. Yes, feed me more ideas, and I will try to be reasonable about what I take along. Enjoy. That was phlegmy. Oh, the power! That's not even maxed out yet. That's maxed out. We're making a wake. Oh, turning. Forgot to warn you. Still 10 feet deep. It's gonna start shallowing up. Still 10 feet. But yeah, try hitting that shaded part. There might be a fish in there. Might be a fish in there yet. I'm gonna try and get vloggy here. What's up there, YouTubers? It's another edition of a show that no one watches, which is perfectly fine, because I don't really care.
It doesn't hurt me, I swear.
It doesn't hurt me at all. Anywho's, we are in Cambridge, Galt. We're checking out the area around the rowing club, because we never really fished it too heavily any year. We want to know how deep it is. Turn us around a little bit again so we can see that shoreline. We're still 10 feet deep. So this side of the river is pretty deep. On that side, you gotta get pretty close to the shore before it shallows out. Let's figure out what this drop is like. There's some interesting structures below us. Rocks. Looks like there might be fish. Oh yes, this is a nice drop off.
Real murky.
We got 5 feet here. And we're just that far away from the bank. On the opposite side from the rowing club. Pretty murky. You got that right. Get the poles untangled. Still 8 feet. 9 o'clock in the morning. Oh yeah, I got right in there, didn't I? Cranky time. Crawfish colors, shark colors. Crazy friggin' neon green color. Thank you. Yes.
With the green.
It is summer. That chartreuse color that you were using on that spinner that was working earlier.
Yeah, I mean, they look after the color. I've never thrown chartreuse on the small spinners. I mean, I wasn't getting big ones, but
Hey, they might have been the only fish that were there, and they liked it. This came to me in one of them mystery tackle boxes. Looks like a pretty decent deal. He's fat. Yeah, I know. It's gonna cast like a mother.
bigger than some of the fish I was catching the other day.
Yeah, he's a little bit bigger than some of the fish we were catching. That's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I forgot this stupid reel. I have to switch hands to use it. Let's mark some different depths, see what this dam is all about. And there's some cool structure down there. I don't think it's fish though, it's probably just sunken logs or trees. Look at this. Ooh. You can't fish here easily. This shoreline, there's not going to be a lot of people walking along it. And there are some sunken logs and junk. That's some good stuff. Let's hit that real quick, like just a little float by. Get right into this slump. Oh, that was a big splash. Gross. Definitely Frogtown. Solid line of weeds came right up to the transducer. I'm afraid I'm gonna hit a tree with my trolling motor, so I'm just just giving it a touch here and there. 8 feet. Slow it down because I don't know what happens under these things. This thing only dives 5 or 6 feet. I'm hitting ground. 8 feet. Yo, did you see that?
See what?
There's a big splash there.
No, I missed it.
We might want to take your popper back over. I am gonna throw the thing that was catching us fish earlier. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay, you cast.
Casting.
Did not get that on camera.
Pretty surprised the lines didn't get tangled.
Yeah, that was lucky. Public service announcement. When fishing in a canoe with others, time casts accordingly, and maybe let your friend know when you're casting. Right, Pete?
Yep.
Yep. Uh-huh. Yarp. Yarp. You can actually see bait fish over there. See that little pile of them? They're jumping up to the surface.
Oh, yeah.
So there's lots of bait fish here, and you get these big old piles of weeds that, like, they look like flotsam, just crap floating on the surface. But you get up to them and they're just these big freaking piles. This is on a lake, the kind of territory where I would see big pike. It's shallow and you just got those big piles of weeds. There was one right behind us. There's a freaking fish out there, I swear. There's a ripple and stuff. So I don't know what we're doing wrong, but this seems to be like a decent spot. Of course, it is summer. It is only like 5 feet deep, and the water's very stagnant.
Probably very warm as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's going to be warm. Go ahead and cast. You are free to cast!
Thank you, sir! Sir, yes, sir!
Oh!
Whoa!
Did I get that on camera? It was a beauty fish. I don't know if it was a bass, but it was a beauty fish.
I want it.
Me too. Let's just get within casting distance. I'm pulling us a boat. Pulling us a boat? I'm pulling us a boat. Yeah, you're close enough. That should call him in if he's still hungry.
Hungry.
I mean, if it was a bass. It may have been a trout.
You never caught that. Have you ever caught a trout?
No, not in here. I don't think this far south even.
Oh, ridiculous.
Little baby fish.
Heck yeah.
I mean, he jumped right out of the water.
Yeah.
Like, I saw him. He was a good length, but I couldn't tell the species. He might be gonzo. Let's throw the spinner again, see if I can just pick something up. 5'3", 5'4". I mean, it could have been a carp too. We've seen them jump pretty aggressively, which, I mean, boggled my mind at first, but now that we've seen it more often, then it could have been a carp. I mean, this is the stagnant water that they seem to enjoy. I'm thinking maybe we work our way more upstream, because unless we're thinking about taking the canoe over the dam, which I don't think we'll get back up.
Nope. That could be easy. What the?
Yeah, look, that was a big. I missed it on camera. It had a white belly too, right? Like, it didn't look
Yeah.
like a carp. It was very aggressive jump.
That was a big jump.
Reel that sucker in. Gonna try and go aboard him. Go right on top of him. Get close. Talking about my boatmanship now. You do what you want. He's hitting surface. What is he? I just want to hang out until we figure out what the hell that fish is. I think he's chasing bait fish up to the surface. I don't think that's typically a carp behavior. Don't you want a big fat crankbait in your mouth? Come on. Big fat cranky time. Where are you, fish? Had to have been a carp. I mean, come on. Other than a largemouth bass, what fish would survive here?
I did see a lot of white on him.
Yeah, it seemed very white. I mean, it didn't seem gold like a carp. White belly like a largemouth bass.
That's a little too white.
Bass are pretty white. I think I'm taking this crankbait right through a weed pile.
Dude, we stopped moving.
Yep, there it is. Slop. We slopped it. I know I could put this at the beginning of the video, but I forgot to say, hey, I'm Kyle, and I'm the one who makes these videos and stuff. If you also have a YouTube channel and fish in Ontario, please add the Ontario YouTube Angler hashtag that I've created for us folks, and help support each other when you see these things pop up on Twitter and other social media. Share it around and that sort of thing, and communicate with each other, because, you know, more friends is more better. Yeah. Until next time.